Once you're satisfied with your custom distribution, you'll want to save it and convert it into a group file. To do so, bring your cursor over to the Create Luminaire command button under the Luminaire tab and click on the drop-down button. Then, select Create Group. Now, draw a box around the Lear modules. Then, click on the group to define the insertion point, and then click a second time on the group to create the reference angle. As you can see, the Define Luminaire box pops up. Here you want to make sure that the individual module tilt is restricted to 70 degrees, as that is the maximum angle the Lear module can vertically rotate. At this point, you want to enter a name for your custom group file that is relevant to your project. For this example, we're going to call ours Custom Type X Corner 1. Do remember that the name you decide on not only needs to be relevant to your project, it will become part of the catalog number and ordering string of your fixture. So in a nutshell, the name you choose is very important. Now, click on the Add/Redefine button. Next, click on the Define button under the Luminaire tab and select your newly created group. Then, click on the Create Composite File button so we can convert your group file into a standard IES file. Remember, once you complete this step, you will no longer be able to make changes to the file. Moving forward, we need to add the fixture level constraints into the system. This step basically enables us to place a virtual box around the individual modules to create your fixture. So next to where it says Composite Method, make sure that Add is selected and not Average. Then, change the vertical cutoff angle to 87.5 degrees. Then, set the allowable aiming increment to 2.5 degrees. And this just represents the tolerance on the angular increments. After that, you just want to make sure that the allowable X, Y, and Z offsets match the actual. Once you do that, click OK. Now, save your custom-named standard IES file with a file name that is relevant to your project or even relevant to the location in your project, as this is the file that we sent to Kim Lighting to build your luminaire. And I can't reiterate enough how important this is. Congratulations, you just created your very own custom-aimed Type X luminaire. It is also important to know that even though the standard IES file you just created cannot be changed or manipulated moving forward, it can be used again in the future for any of your Type X wall, flood, or site applications. That's just another one of the perks you get with Type X. Now that we have named and saved your creation, let's take a look at some of the data. As you can see, your custom file shows the lumens, the wattage, and even all of the orient and tilt angles that Kim Lighting will use to aim the modules when building your Type X luminaire. If you click on the Classifications tab, you can also see your fixture's bug rating. And lastly, you need to add the light loss factor for your custom Type X fixture. Here we're adding a light loss factor of 0.9. Once you do that, click the Add and Redefine button. Now you need to swap out the group file with the IES file that you just created to run calculations on your layout. Click on Swap Luminaire and then click on Window. Then draw a window around the luminaire and swap it for its corresponding IES file. Finally, select Calculate to run calculations for the layout. Notice how the Design Isolines disappear, but they can be turned on simply by clicking the Design Isolines button at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. As we have shown you, the possibilities with Type X are limitless. No longer do you have to fit a square peg in a round hole when it comes to designing your layouts. Type X gives the design back to the designer. Why use a Type 2, 3, 4, or 5 when you can use Type X? Now you have the ability to customize every luminaire in your layout or just the ones that you need. It's completely up to you. You can even reuse any of the custom-aimed distributions that you create on future projects, and best of all, it does not cost you anything extra and it will save you tons and tons of time. This is innovation. This is Kim Lighting.